Hi, I'm Will from Unleashed, and in this video we're going to look at the production module within Unleashed. So there are two parts to the production module, the bill of materials and the assemblies. We have our bill of materials as that defines what components go in to make each assembled product, and our assemblies are the actual process of taking our raw materials and turning them into our final products. So what we're going to do here is look at the bill of materials and also do an assembly for a 6-pack of Pilsner beers. So we're going to have all of our raw products, being our yeast, our hops, our sugar, and our malts, and our water, that goes in to create a batch, which is a 200 litre vat of beer. And then we're going to take that 200 litre vat and then we're going to turn it into our final products, which is a 6-pack of cans of our Pilsner. So let's jump in, we'll check it out together. Right, so here we are in the bill of materials in Unleashed. Now, we're going to look at the 200 litre batch here first, and then we'll look at the 6-pack of Pilsners. So if we click into the bill of materials here, what we've got is up the top is our assembled product. This is what we're assembling, and then below we've got our 5 component products that make up a 200 litre batch of Pilsner. So this is 1 unit of a 200 litre batch of Pilsner. So our components we've got our first one here being 10,000 litres of spring water, and we're going to use 0.18 as a quantity of that 10,000 litres. So that gives us 180 litres to go into this batch. We've then got 0.1 of our 100 litres of dark malt, so that'll be 10 litres of dark brewing malt. We've then got 0.3 of our 20 kilos of Nelson Pilsner hops. We've got 25 kilos of white sugar, and we're going to be using 3 bags, so you can expect that 75 kilos of sugar would go into this mix. And then finally, we've got 2 bags of our 2 kilos of organic brewer's yeast. So that is everything that goes into our 200 litre batch of Pilsner. So let's have a look at our next bill of materials here. So go back to the all bill of materials and then into our 6-pack of Pilsner. So we've got 3 components here. The first one is our Pilsner cans. So we buy 1,000 cans at a time from our supplier, and we're going to need 0.006 of our 1,000 cans, which gives us 6 cans. We then have of the 200 litre batch, so that's the batch we looked at in the previous bill of materials, we're going to use 0.099, and we're going to have a wastage quantity of 0.0001. So in total, that'll be 0.001 will create a 6-pack of Pilsners. Now I just want to quickly show you how we arrive at this figure here. Okay, so we know that we have 330 mils in a can, and we have 6 cans in a 6-pack. Right, so if I just divide this by 1,000, that's going to give me my amount in litres. And so now if I take that 1.98 and I divide it by the 200 litres that we're creating, we get 0.0099. So we're going to use 0.0099 of our batch to create a 6-pack of Pilsners. Now we could leave that at 0.99, but the problem is when we do an assembly, we're always going to have this 0.01 sitting there as a batch that we'd have to write off every time. So the easiest thing to do is to put a wastage quantity in here to give us a round number when we do our assemblies. This is going to make a lot more sense when we get into our assemblies. But I just want to take you through how we calculated these amounts here. So what you want to be doing is going through all of your products and looking at what quantities you buy them in, then calculating how much you'll need to create the batch or whatever you're assembling, and that becomes your quantity down here. We've also got our 6-pack of cartons, and we buy those individually. So a 6-pack of cartons, 1 unit, as you can see, costs us 35 cents. So all in all, it's going to be $2.65 to create a 6-pack of Pilsners, and that's going to help us when we're selling our 6-pack of Pilsners to our customers. We can calculate our margin based on a cost of $2.65, and these are going to be changing over time as we order more products in, and as we do more assemblies. We're going to have a weighted average cost, so this will always be fluctuating, but we know at the moment $2.65 cost to create a 6-pack of Pilsners. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to open up the menu here, go to production, and then down to assemblies, and then we're going to add an assembly. So the first thing we need to assemble is our batch. So I'm going to type in batch up the top here. And you can see that we've got enough stock on hand to assemble 9 batches, but we only want to assemble 1 because we've only got enough room in our vat to do 1 batch. And what that will do is it will update all of the quantities that we need to use. So these are all the quantities down there. And you can see that our batch is going to cost us $162.34. Now keep in mind, because we are exchanging raw materials for our final product at the top here, there's actually no implications to our accounting system. So there's no journals involved. It's just letting us know that's the total value of that batch once we've assembled it. So what we need to do next is allocate it a batch number. So we want to come down the bottom here, and let's just say it's 10/20/20. And our expiry date, let's just put this at the end of the month, and that's going to be one batch, and we go add, and then hit save, and you'll notice that that's now highlighted green here. So now what we're going to do is hit complete, and this will reduce our stock on hand levels for all of our component products by these quantities, and we're going to increase this product here, the 200 litre batch of Pilsner, by 1 unit. Now we're going to do another assembly, so let's go back to view assemblies, and then we're going to go add assembly. So this time we're going to create our 6-pack. So if I type in 6-pack of Pilsners, and you can see we can assemble 100 units, which is exactly what we'd expect. So if we put 100 in here, hit yes, it's now updated everything. So as you'll see here, the quantity was 0.99 and the wastage was 0.01. That's at a per unit level. So if I jump into here, I can now allocate this batch. It needs one batch, hit 1, and then hit save. So if I left that without the wastage quantity in there, the problem I'd have is I'd need 0.0099 of my batch, and I end up, when I do my assembly, having a small residual amount of my 200 litre batch remaining, which I then have to write off. So that's why wasted quantities are very good to put in. You really want to be rounding your quantities so you don't end up with excess stock once you've done an assembly. So this is looking really good. The next thing I need to do is assign the batch numbers. So I need to do so I'm assembling 100 units of the 6-pack of Pilsners. So the batch number is going to be 10/20/20. And then these have an expiry date of 1 year. So I'm going to update that to be 2021. And that's going to be 100 units. Go add batch and then hit save. And you'll see that that's green now because we've assigned 100 batches for our 100 assembled quantity. All I need to do now is hit complete, and then that will update my products to reduce my batch by 1 unit and then increase my units of 6-pack of Pilsners by 100 units, which I can now on-sell to my customers. So that is the assembly module within Unleashed. So what we looked at is the bill of materials, which are our recipes, and then we also looked at the assembly, which is the actual process of reducing our raw material stock to increase the stock of our final goods that we on-sell to our customers. I hope that was useful, and I'll see you in the next video.